that he gave Pete Rose football scores smack in the middle of baseball games. Franco's name and that of another local baseball figure, Marty Brennaman, are buried deep in the 2,000-page John Dowd report on Rose's alleged gambling. News 5's Jeff Hirsh reports on this latest twist in this unfolding saga.
Today's New York Daily News, John Franco's hometown paper, says Franco admitted giving football scores to Rose during baseball games. The article says Franco told the Dayton Daily News he checked the sports ticker in the clubhouse during games. Franco is quoted as saying he knew Rose was a big gambler, but Franco is also quoted as saying he did not know anything about Pete Rose betting on baseball.
I spoke with Franco about this in person earlier today. He did not want to go on camera, but he denied making those comments to a newspaper reporter, and he also told me, quote, "I never gave scores to Pete."
Franco added, "That's not true. I don't know anything about it. I wish you people would clear my name. I would never do anything like that." Franco's name comes up in the John Dowd report on Rose's alleged gambling. It comes in an interview with Paul Janszen, one of Rose's chief accusers, who says Franco knew about Rose's gambling. Also in Janszen's interview, the name of Reds broadcaster Marty Brennaman as someone who allegedly knew of Pete as a bettor. Brennaman tells me he's not happy he's in the report. He says he knew Pete bet on football and basketball a couple of years ago, though he does not know if it was legal or illegal. But Brennaman says he never knew of Pete betting on baseball.
Well, I think that it'll be proven that Paul Janszen has told a lot of untruths if this thing can stay in a court of law. I have no knowledge whatsoever firsthand or from conversation that Pete Rose has ever bet on a baseball game, including the Reds.
And Brennaman says it's curious that while his name is in the report, baseball investigators never interviewed him, a person who sees Pete Rose every day of the season. Jeff Hirsh, News 5.
Next Thursday's scheduled hearing is still on before Judge Norbert Nadel. No decision yet from Major League Baseball on any further court efforts to let Commissioner Bart Giamatti hold his hearing instead. In the meantime, Cincinnati Reds owner Marge Schott is in the hospital right now. A spokeswoman for Jewish Hospital tells us she is likely to remain there overnight. Mrs. Schott, seen here at events from earlier in the year, was brought to the hospital by private car at around noon. Since then, she has been undergoing what the hospital describes as routine, unscheduled tests. However, the hospital stresses that she has not suffered a heart attack. But he gave Pete stresses that she has. Giamatti has been moved to Columbus. News 5's John London is here to explain why. John, what's going on?
Well, it's been moved because baseball's attorneys today asked for and got a change in the playing field, at least temporarily. Keep your eye on the baseball now as I give you a play-by-play of the off-field maneuvering.
As Pete autographed baseballs prior to the start of a three-game series in Philadelphia, his case was on the move. Judge Norbert Nadel has had a grip on it for nearly 2 weeks, temporarily blocking Commissioner Giamatti from deciding if Pete is guilty of gambling on baseball. But Giamatti's lawyers have filed papers shifting the case into federal court, away from Cincinnati. They say since Giamatti doesn't live in Ohio, a state court should not have jurisdiction. In agreeing to a federal hearing in Columbus, Judges Carl Rubin and Herman Weber wrote, "While we entertain substantial doubt that this matter is removable to the federal court, the technical requirements appear to have been followed." On Wednesday, Pete's lawyers are expected to file papers of their own to move the case back home, back before Judge Nadel. But right now, the ball belongs to federal Judge John Holshoe of Columbus. He will decide where Pete's case belongs. For now, it is in legal limbo.
The courts, of course, are closed tomorrow for the holiday, so it will be Wednesday at the earliest before a ruling is made. What was expected to be a big showdown hearing before Judge Nadel is right now on hold.
Now, are the lawyers preparing as if it's all done?